Welcome to Leads Training for Mitsubishi Electric Train HVAC. I am Leah Montgomery. I am the Regional Marketing Manager for the South Business Unit, and we will be talking about leads today and how we acquire these leads, how they're distributed to our contractors, and what are some best practices. So let's get started. So here are the different steps we're going to look at in the lead process. First of all, our target demographic. Second, the lead generators. Third, how we assign the leads. Fourth, how to handle these leads. And then fifth, lead follow-up. So target demographic. This is who our customer is, who will be most likely to want our products and be interested in them and submit a lead to our system. So these are tech-friendly consumers. These are people who like to use their smartphones for things. These are people that are probably on the more close to the leading edge of technology. Also, they are comfort seekers. So these are people who want to be comfortable pretty much anywhere that they are, but especially in their homes and especially in their place of business. These are also well-informed customers. So these are people who have done their research. They've gone to our website. They've maybe looked at YouTube. They've looked around a lot to try to find what exactly is the best product for what they're looking for. And our customers are also personalization driven. So they really like to be able to personalize their own comfort and be able to manage that on their own. So what does it look like, the split between male and female and some of these other demographics? So starting with male and female, it's really split down the middle. So we are not really skewing far off to male or female. So it's really right down the middle. We also skew more heavily towards married couples. And then our median age nationwide is about 47. But when we do our advertising, we are looking at a range of 35 to 65. Lead generators. Where do leads come from? So where do our leads come from? Where do the leads that come into our system, that go to our website, that come out to our contractors, where do they come from? So most of our leads are actually coming from social media. So these are leads that come from campaigns that we run a lot on Facebook. We run on Instagram. We run on a couple of different programs, but mainly Facebook and Instagram for our campaigns with social media. This is an example of what one would look like. The next form of advertising would be video ads. So this is an ad that might come on before you watch a YouTube video. It may be an ad that comes on when you're watching Hulu or any other kind of digital television. So these are ads that are our short commercials, and then really we use them mostly for awareness in areas that we're going to do more lead generating activity, but we do generate a small amount of leads from these video ads. The next type of advertising is online ads. So these are your basic digital online banner ads, ads that you might find on a website. If you go to weather.com or if you go to hgtv.com, you might be served some of these ads. These are digital online ads. The next type of lead generator would be emails. So we have a number of different email campaigns that we keep going from a national perspective. So one of those examples would be when a consumer goes to our website, they're able to download a piece of literature. But in order to get that download, they have to provide us with their email address. So once we get that email address, we put it into an email drip campaign. And what happens with that is we will send that consumer emails periodically to help warm that lead up, to get them to come back to our website and put in a contact us form that we then turn into a lead and then get sent out to our contractors. The next type of media is paid search. So this is going to be your paid Google ads or paid Bing ads. So you'll see it right below the Google guaranteed listings, our ad for MitsubishiComfort.com, Douglas HVAC, top choice of HVAC contractors. So these are ads that we actually pay for with Google, and we get them to show up in that top ads section. And then the final lead generator that we use more often would be organic search. So this is based on your search engine optimization of your website, as well as many other factors. You could have factors coming in from maybe if your website has a blog, or if you've linked your website to Facebook or YouTube. All of these factors can determine where you show up in those organic search results. So we do a lot of improvements to our website and to our social media platforms so that we can show up high in those organic search results. So all of these types of advertising lead our consumer to go to our website, MitsubishiComfort.com. And once they get to that website, there's a lot of information. Since our consumers are very well informed, a lot of times they will just use this opportunity to go around the whole website and look at everything, watch some videos, look at what our products look like, maybe go into rebates and financing to see if they have any rebates in their areas. But where they go from there determines if they become a lead. So when they go to get started on our website, they're taken to this page, and they've got two different choices. They can either choose to request a consultation or find a contractor. So requesting a consultation, they would fill out this form at the bottom of this page. You would be able to scroll and take a look at that, and it would fill out their information, their name, their last name, if they have one of our systems or if they're a new customer, what their current system is, their zip code, their email address, their phone number, so all kinds of information that they fill out onto this contact us form. Now the second option would be find a contractor. So this is how that would work. They would click on find a contractor, come over here to the zip code search box. They would type in their zip code, and then it would populate contractors in their area. Now the contractors will show up by their tier. So elite, diamond contractors, or Douglas pros will show up first, and then preferred, and then standard contractors. So the consumer has a couple of different options at this point. They can choose to schedule a consultation with this contractor. So if I hit schedule a consultation for James Thomas Heating and Cooling, I would fill out that lead form and it would go directly to James Thomas Heating and Cooling. Now, I could also do that with all of these. So each one of these would actually get one lead from me. When you do the request a consultation, it's a little bit different. So back to request a consultation, if you fill out this form, if the consumer fills this form out, it will get sent to 3 contractors. So those are our assigned leads. We will pick 3 different contractors that have that zip code listed in their preferred zip codes in our system. And that is also based on tier, and we'll go over that in just a little bit. So requesting a consultation gets that one lead sent to 3 contractors, whereas the find a contractor and scheduling this consultation only goes to that one contractor. Assigning leads. So how do we assign these leads that come into our system? So when a lead comes into our system that is assigned, it is sent to 3 contractors. And the tier determines who gets this lead. So as most of you know, we have 3 different designations for our contractor programs: elite, preferred, and standard. And our lead engine actually tracks the amount of leads that come into each zip code. So when a consumer puts in their zip code, our lead engine actually chooses the contractors based on their tier and then records that so that it will make sure that it's sending the right amount of leads to each contractor in each tier. So each contractor tier gets a certain amount of leads. So elites would get 4 leads per contractor, preferreds would get 3, and then standards would get 2. So you can see you get more leads depending on your tier. So let's say this is an example zip code. There are 4 contractors in elite, 3 contractors in preferred, and then 2 in standard. So this is what happens when the consumer puts in this particular zip code. That lead would go to the first 3 elite contractors. Let's say another consumer puts in a lead. That lead would finish out the elites and then go to the first 2 preferreds. Then the next lead would finish out the preferreds and go to the 2 standards. And this will continue until each one of these tiers has been satisfied. So as you can see, the 2 contractors in the standard tier have reached the 2 leads before the preferred contractors in the preferred tier have reached their 3 leads. So you would complete the standard tier and then continue working through the leads through the elite and preferred. And then once the preferreds all have their 3 leads per contractor, then it will finish out with 4 leads per contractor in the elite tier. And once that completes, it starts over again on the next consumer who puts in that zip code. So you can see the standards will have gotten 4, the preferreds will have gotten 9, and then the elites will have gotten 16. So you can see it really makes a big difference which tier of your contractor program you're in and how that determines how many leads you get. Let's talk about handling leads. Okay, so this is an example of a lead that you may have gotten in to your business if you are in our contractor program. So this is what it'll look like, and some of the main things with this email to point out would be, first of all, our email address that this is coming from, marketingdepartment@hvac.mea.com. Make sure that this is not going to your junk mail. Make sure that it's an approved email in your email system so that it comes straight through to the lead email that we have on file. The next thing to point out here is going to be the amount of contact information. So on this initial email about the lead, we'll only provide a small amount of information. We'll have the name, city, and zip code, but we won't have the phone number or email address. We will have some of the other information that you see below. So once you accept the lead, we will give you the rest of the contact information for this lead. But we want to know that you're actually going to follow up with it, so that's why we make you accept the lead as a contractor. So you have 24 hours to accept this lead. If you do not accept the lead within 24 hours, this link will become dead and you won't be able to get the lead information, and you will have an expired lead in your system. The other option would be to reject the lead. So if you have a lead coming in from a zip code you don't service, or maybe you don't have enough bandwidth with your current service people or salespeople due to illness or any other factors, and you can't actually respond to that lead, you can click reject lead. Now, if you're doing this often and you're finding that you have lots of leads coming in from zip codes that you don't service, make sure you talk to your Mitsubishi Electric Train area sales manager, and they can help you go through those zip codes to make sure we have only the correct ones in the system for you. And then the last thing here is the accepted leads link. And this will show you a list of all the leads that you've accepted. Now, we would prefer that you actually go to the contractor portal to look at your leads there, and we'll show you that in just a minute as well. So as you can see, it's super important. Accept or reject your leads within 24 hours. If you don't do this and the lead expires, it will actually count against you in your scorecard. Now, your scorecard, if you don't know about your balanced scorecard as a contractor in one of our contractor programs, talk to your area sales manager and they can help you understand what that scorecard is and how you earn points to move up in those tiers. Also, something to note would be weekends and holidays. Actually, the system gives you a little bit more time because we know that there are holidays or weekends and you may not be doing business on those days. Lead follow-up. So you can see all of your accepted leads in your contractor portal. So once you log into your contractor portal, you're actually shown this screen right here, and it starts out with the My Leads page. Now, if you don't have a login for your contractor portal or you don't know about it and want some more information, make sure you talk to your area sales manager and they will help you get set up on the portal and get you started. So for what we're talking about right now, we're going to look at the My Leads section. So to see that, you log into the contractor portal, scroll down to My Leads, and then this is a new feature that we've had for maybe about a year, but we'd really like everyone to start using the sales status feature. How you change the sales status is pretty easy. You just click on that drop down, and then you select the status from the list. So this is a list of all of your leads that have come in. We want you to update that status of your lead by clicking on that drop-down box and then going to this list and choosing what you've done with the lead so far. So if you've contacted the lead or scheduled an appointment, if you've already sent the proposal out and now you're waiting. There's all kinds of different responses to this. And we'd also ask that you update this weekly. We really want to get an idea of how our leads are performing and if you're able to close those leads. So when you've completed a sale with a customer that you've gotten from us, a lead in your contractor portal, make sure that you're going in and closing that lead out by either choosing customer purchased or close lost. So when you choose customer purchased and you refresh your browser, you'll actually be given a link for product registration to the right. You can see it down there highlighted in the bottom right of your screen. So this product registration link does something great for us. It helps close that lead loop in the system. So once you click on that product registration, you're able to go in, register the product, and then it connects that lead to the registration. Once you've registered your product, what happens is we're able to look back through the history of that lead and see where that lead came from. So if that lead came from, let's say, a Facebook campaign that we ran, we can say, oh, look, we're closing a lot of these Facebook leads. Let's go ahead and put more budget into that campaign. Or if you choose job lost, maybe you didn't sell the job, we can come back and say, oh, look, well, there's a lot of these leads that are coming from, let's say, Bing, that are being lost, and they're not really great leads. So let's take some of that budget and push it towards something that actually is going to create some really great leads for our customers so that they can close them easier. So this is why we're asking that you go in and change that sales status on all of your leads that you get from us. So let's just talk for 1 second about the Diamond Points program. So we talked about registering your Mitsubishi Electric Train sales. If you don't register them in the portal, we still do need you to register those at registermehvac.com. And what's great about registering there is you'll get your 12 and 12 warranty if you're part of our contractor program. That's the only way you can get that 12 and 12 warranty. And you'll also earn points on your outdoor units for registermehvac.com. So when you go in there and you do your registrations, you earn your points, you're able to use those points on really great things. So anything from maybe a new laptop for your computer, maybe some golf clubs, maybe an iPad for a reward for one of your salespeople, maybe a trip. If you have a bunch of points stored up, you can go on a vacation. So lots of really great ways to use those points for registering your system. All right, let's move on to our last section, extra tips and tricks. So how do I get more leads from the Mitsubishi system? So our first suggestion is to try to move up in those tiers. So move from a standard to a preferred or a preferred to an elite. That way you'll get more leads automatically from that lead engine. So to move up in those tiers, you'll want to make sure you're not missing any leads. So when you miss a lead and that lead expires, it actually can count against you in your scorecard. So part of the scorecard looks at your acceptance rate for leads. If you have a low lead acceptance rate because you have a lot of expired leads, you won't get any points. But if you have a high acceptance rate because you don't let any leads expire, you're going to get more points. Then choose your home zip code thoughtfully. Your home zip code is the zip code that your ASM can specify in our system to show you first. So you could be in a zip code with maybe an elite and a preferred and a couple of standard contractors. And let's say you're a standard contractor yourself. If you put that zip code in as your home zip code and none of the other contractors have, you will show up first above the elites and preferreds. Now, if there's more than one contractor who has put that home zip code in for their company, that will show by tier as well. So you'll still see elites and preferreds if you're a standard contractor above you if they've chosen that same home zip code. But think about where to put that. It doesn't have to be the zip code for your actual location, but it can be a zip code that you work a lot in or one of your main service area zip codes. So also keep your list of preferred zip codes current at all times. You can talk to your area sales manager about what your zip codes are right now. If you need to update those and change those, that area sales manager can do that as well. Also, adding financing to our dealer locator for your company might be a great way to get more leads. If you're doing financing with Synchrony, we can add that logo next to your name, and then that way the consumer might choose you over somebody who doesn't offer financing. Some follow-up tips. Make sure you're following up with the consumer within 30 minutes. That's the best chance for you to set an appointment. Use a script to set more appointments and qualify leads better. If your folks answering the phone know what they're talking about and sound very professional, then you're more likely to get that lead. Also, send a confirmation email with a picture of the person going out to see the lead. A pre-appointment lead qualification example email is on the right of the screen. This is a great email. It confirms the appointment. It lets the consumer know a little bit more about what the equipment looks like by the video. It also offers some financing information. And then at the bottom, you can include a photo of your salesperson going out to talk to the consumer. Okay, let's talk about some common issues with expired leads. As we talked about before, we really want to make sure that we don't let any of our leads expire. And sometimes they expire and we don't even know it. So make sure that your lead email is not going into junk mail. So set us up as a contact to receive emails from. That way your computer will not want to block it or put it into that junk file. So the leads may be going to one particular person's email at your company. What if they leave the company or are out on vacation or on sick leave? And if no one remembers that they're set up as the lead email, those leads will be expired. So make sure you have some way of knowing that somebody is going to follow up on those emails. We always suggest setting up some kind of a distribution email to receive the leads, like leads@abccontractor.com. That way, multiple people in your business have access to the leads and can go ahead and accept those and not let those expire. What if the lead comes in twice or more from one homeowner and you've already accepted it or declined it? Well, go ahead and accept those leads. Homeowners are notorious for being impatient and they'll often send leads more than just once. So that's all that we have for our lead training today. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope some of this helped you understand how we create leads, how we send those leads out, and your best practices on how to follow up with those leads so that you can close as many sales as you can. So reach out to your Mitsubishi Electric Trane HVAC area sales manager or your regional marketing manager with any questions that you might have.